that justice be meted out, but she said that hatred will close the eyes of justice. You cannot deal or dole out justice in a spirit of hatred, because then you are blind to the soul that is within the person who has wronged you. Justice has to be meted out through a spirit of spiritual retribution, which again implies that restoration of equilibrium.
Mm-hmm. Yes, hatred was just it just incurs more karma in yourself, actually. So it doesn't solve the problem.
She also said that justice is linked with the establishment of right human relations. She said when those conditions of right human relations are met, then we'll have peace. So many good people put the emphasis on peace. They want peace, they want a world at peace, they want an end to war. Yes, we all do. But justice is what makes peace possible, I think, because justice is linked with the establishment of right human relations. And if you don't have that, you can't ask for peace, because there's an imbalance that has to be corrected. Another value that I think is deeply spiritual is a spirit of cooperation. That might sound pretty obvious, but I think the first lesson that a child should be taught is the fact that he's a unit in a group of similar units, that he's not an island, that he's not a world unto himself, but part of a much greater group. And each member of that group is expected to contribute his particular gift to the whole. If children were taught this, I think it would help them begin life in a proper perspective.
And cooperation also is dependent on the active energy of goodwill. It brings goodwill into action and provides that's the very energy that enables a cooperative effort to work out and to build relationships. And that's the very touchstone, that, as it says in the books, goodwill is the touchstone that will transform the world. And that's one of the great values of goodwill, the energy of goodwill, and applying it directly in your cooperative relationships.
Goodwill, I think, nourishes the spirit of understanding in people. It creates a condition in which they are willing and able to make an effort to understand another point of view and another need, and it fosters cooperation because of that. The cooperative spirit is the secret of all right human relations, and yet so much of modern society seems to emphasize competition, not cooperation, but competition, winning, overcoming, being the first, getting ahead, being victorious over everybody else. If you think about it, that utterly defies the whole idea of cooperation, and many children are taught just that, to compete, that you have to fight and win your way over everybody else. Yes, I think the child has to advance and move forward and grow and attain, but at the expense of others, is that really a victory?
Krishnamurti once said that about our education system, that it was all wrong because as soon as you compare two people, you've lost both of them, two children. You know,
very good. Yeah,
very much in sync with what you're saying.
I think we often think of cooperation as a kind of socialization. We're taught as children to play nicely with others. But I wonder if we've ever thought of cooperation as something we should do with our soul, cooperating with our soul, with our higher self. Have we ever thought about the fact that our higher nature has a plan, a contribution to make that needs our cooperation? That's another view of cooperation that I find kind of refreshing. Another value that is spiritual and of soul quality is the sense of personal responsibility.
Yeah, that's a very big one.
That's a big one.
That's a big one because it has exactly to do with the bringing forth of the soul into the world, because it is said that a sense of responsibility is the first indication that the soul is beginning to make an impact on your life. And if you have that sense of responsibility, not just take care of yourself, but for all those others around you, and to help fulfill the needs of others, then you're allowing that soul energy to play outward into the world.
That's a nice way to put it. Responsibility makes me think of that famous line from the poet John Donne, "Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." We can't look around and point to somebody else who should make the world a better place or do something about injustice or correct the lack of resources for some of the poorest and most deprived. We have to start ourselves doing what we see needs to be done. We have to show a sense of responsibility and not wait for somebody else to take care of it. And perhaps the last value we can talk about today is serving the common good. I think the sense of the common good, the good that is shared by all, is an effect of the attractive force of the Christ, or if you prefer, the Messiah, the Imam Mahdi. By the way, I was astonished, I think, this week to hear on McNeil Lehrer a discussion of the Imam Mahdi among Muslims who are awaiting the return of the world teacher, just as Christians await the return of the Christ, and Jewish people await the return of the Messiah, and the Buddhists await the Maitreya. Whatever you call this entity, that willingness to think of the common good is an effect of his approach towards humanity. And we see this writ large in the development of the new group of world servers, the subjective network of servers who are working in all fields. This is definitely a sign of commitment to the common good. Perhaps as a way of closing, if people would like to request a mantra, they can say to themselves, we'd be happy to supply it. It's the noontime recollection, which says, "I know, O Lord, of life and love about the need. Touch my heart anew with love, that I too may love and give."
Please take advantage of our offer from Lucis Trust, and that's values to live by. Values to live by are the values set forth by Lucis Trust and part of their beliefs, and they're on a leaflet and card. You'll be getting both the leaflet and the card. Give us a call and request values to live by at 1-866-695-8247. The easy way to remember it, 1-866-NY-LUCIS. Think of 1-866 New York Lucis. Lucis is L-U-C-I-S. You've been listening to Inner Sight. Now we would like to close with a world prayer called the Great Invocation. It's a call for light and love and goodwill to flow into the world and into our hearts. Let's listen for a moment to these powerful words.
From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.